the two lanes, you probably be able to get one DSL or a router that will let you segregate by complete your internet from your network, internal network, and not putting you at risk. I could probably even tell you that probably you will buy a router, it'll probably cost you a couple of $100, maybe thousands, and it'll probably help you to do the same thing. Come on, let's get realistic. You put the two DSLs, cost efficient in a year, you will still not spend what you spend by putting that first technology, and you're still vulnerable that the person that do understand that router could hack you in. Because if he does understand it and know the tools to do it, he'll probably be able to do it. So what are we saying, Dario? Are there or are they not technologies out there that could protect us from all these vulnerabilities? They are. They are. There are many. And there are many that are mind-boggling. You see them and you go like, man, I like them. Stackable routers and hubs and switches and man, mad cool. What I do know by fact is that it's not about how much money you put into it. It's about how good you implement it. And by doing so, you need to get professionals. People that do understand what are they doing. People that are willing to invest time. This is important. This is very important. Remember when we started the video, I said, to do this, you have to like it. I have invested hours of my life, zillion hours, that probably people will not invest in nothing in their life. You know, you have to invest a zillion amount of hours of your life, probably to only be able to charge for the 1 or 2 hours of job you're doing to the customer. So you really have to do this because you like it, because it is not cost efficient. You know, it's not like you invest 100 hours to find out this good solution and get it done and implement it right, and then you just charge the customer 2 or 3 hours, because once you know it, you already know it. And it is not equal. It doesn't match. You have to do it because you like it. You can't be in this because only the money. It has to be because you like it. If you're in this because you like it, you're going to invest the hours it takes to be good and understand this. And this, by meaning this, meaning the whole community of computers and communications and protocols and all that has to do with computers. The whole round thing. Because remember, it's like I told you, this is not like a piece of a pie. It's a whole pie, and you have to understand the most parts of it so that you can understand where the problems could start and where the problem could end. So, what are we trying to say with all this? Well, simple. We have levels of security. They exist. They are within the tools and equipments you already bought. I bet you have it. It's just not implemented right. Give you simple examples. Come on. People buy a Windows 2003 server. They never implement group policies, you know, and then they want to have the network control. How will you control a network without policies? You have to implement policy. You have to implement different things. Like, for example, you get a network, and then people do. This is incredible. It will probably sound weird, but they don't implement no scheme of how to keep their passwords tracked and changing constantly, making sure that the passwords are being changed and checked. They don't do diagrams. Look, this is very important. You see, we do these diagrams. Like, that's why you have to learn, because you do these diagrams, and I do these with my customers. You keep there all the information of their infrastructure. And if you don't diagram a network, how would you know? Most customers out there, and do this test, do this lab right now, and you'll see that you need an IT guy. An IT, yes, as a matter of fact. Why? Most companies out there, corporate and small companies, do not know what amount of equipment do they have, where they have it, what are they doing within the infrastructure, what are their means of protocol communications, what are they communicating with, what are the different points of vulnerability that they have, how does it work, where the points of connections are, why are they connected, where are they connected, how much equipment do they have, where are those equipment located, what are those equipment doing within that location, what groups are they assigned to, what IPs are they working with, Do they have MAC address? Are they tied up to any hub or switch? What are the hubs and the switch segments are connected to? All these different things. You need a diagram. How can you do this out of your head? I cannot believe this. You go to some places and okay, where's this connected? Where's that machine connected? Do you know what switch is this machine on there? I don't really know. We could go to the patch panel. It doesn't work that way, because maybe that patch panel is connected to there, that patch panel is connected to another patch panel, and from that patch panel it's connected to their switches. How are you gonna figure out? Well, you will. After a few days and hours of investing a lot of resources to try to figure out where it was. That's not the right way of doing it. You think it is? Come on, let's be organized. You know, get your networks, do a diagram, a very thorough diagram, so you can know what you got. You know, how can you know your machines that are connected by VPN? What protocols are they using? Who are your users? Who are they authenticating with? What is your scheme of your network? How can you do all this if you don't have a diagram? Simple. How will you know when to eliminate or add a user? What groups are they on? And if you have group policy implemented, what groups of security are they within? You know what? I can't bring this page up. You know what? I can't turn this program on. Maybe it is because it's in the wrong group. If you see it in the diagram, you can just study the guy. Oh, look, we got this guy in the wrong group. Got to move him to this group. You need to diagram your network. Believe me. If you haven't done that, that's your first step. You can't secure something if you don't know what you are securing. You know, it's like you call a cop and tell him, I want you to guard my house. The first thing he got to do is what? Check the perimeters. He can't guard your house without knowing what is he guarding. What are the points of entry? What are the points of exit? What are the different points of attack that they could use to attack me? Could they come from the sky? Could they come from the door? Could they come from the basement? Where they could come from? You got to know that. You know that if you have a diagram. You don't have no diagram? You got to go around figuring out, trying to... It's not the right way. It's a professional way, and it's the other way. I don't want to say it's the wrong way, but it is the other way. It's professional way and the other way. You got to decide on which way you want to be. I personally like the professional way. Actually, because I'm a professional. But it's the way it is. So that's what we're trying to cover here. It is security out there. It is a way of securing infrastructures out there. They are products very expensive that do security. They are products very cheap to do security. But if you do not implement it, it could be the most expensive router. And if you do not implement its security, it is not secure. I had a friend of mine, we always used to discuss, Microsoft always teaches you to do a DMZ zone and delimited zone. And he never liked it, you know, because the concept is a little weird. You see, problem is, when you really understand this, when they tell you these concepts and they put a name on it, you really see it and you see like, I actually don't see the fun of it. But the DMZ zone, what it basically does is, it tells you you're going to put a firewall here and you're going to put another firewall here, and what you're going to do is, you're going to put less secure things in the middle, and you're going to have your network here, and you're going to have your outside world here. So if somebody try to hack, will get through the first door. It's easy. He probably could hack you whatever you have in this first layer of security, which will probably be your web servers or whatever. But the second level of security will be protecting your infrastructure, your intranet. And I remember that when we were talking about, he never liked it. He said it was dumb because once the person had the password for the first, once the person had the IP for the first one, all he had to try to figure out the IP for the second one, and he figure out the ports and he could go through, you know. And I say, well, probably is right, probably is not. Remember what I told you about professionals? Professional have different point of view. Doesn't mean one is wrong, one is right. What it means is he has a view and he has a view. It's your job to decide which view you want to pick. Now, both of you has to be based on reality and on technology and on professionality. And if they are, doesn't mean one is wrong, one is right. You know, remember, each one is going to have the power to back up each option that they say. You know, I have a saying, and it is, when you get a person an IT guy or a computer guy or whoever the